afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, December 14th, and you may or may not know what that means, but it is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. The last time is now, gentlemen, ladies. Well, not for me, but welcome one and all. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I am your host, Jeremy Pearson. Today's show, the Ballad of John Cena, Part 2. The man's legendary career ended to last night, and we're going to finish looking at the second part of his career and where everything stands. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. Now that Cena is officially done with his WWE career, here are the next 5 faces of the WWE. Number 5, Trick Williams. It's hard for me to put Trick here because I feel like Carmelo has a bigger upside, but they see more in Trick than they do in Melo. And well, Trick's just that dude. They have consistently pushed him, and he's done pretty much better than Melo since Melo has gone to the main roster. Number 4, Sol Ruka. If last night was any indication, Sol getting that W over Bailey shows that they have a lot of faith in her. She is absolutely gorgeous. She is different and unique because the WWE doesn't have a lot of true athletically gifted women like her on the roster, and that's going to take her far. Number 3, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne is called the Prodigy for a reason, and she always felt like a tried and true babyface, but ever since becoming heel, it's just worked for her. Aligning herself with the Judgment Day has elevated her to a status where she's just on TV every single week, and she is so good in the ring that she can go with anybody. She is here to stay. Number 2, Braun Breaker. We know this, man. We know how they see Braun Breaker. He is going to end up main eventing multiple WrestleManias and SummerSlams and Money in the Banks, and probably even win the Money to Bring briefcase. They know what they have on their hands here. Braun Breaker is going to be elevated sooner rather than later. Number 1, Stephanie Vaquera. La Primera is your current women's world champion, and she just has it. It was her dream to be in the WWE, and here she is. After getting on the radar, after facing Mercedes Moné, Stephanie Vaquera has pretty much done so much in her short time with WWE that she may ultimately end up eclipsing almost every single woman on the roster. We'll be right back. The spotlight is bright and it's back on, shining on none other than Bronson Reed. Sometimes it can feel like he may be the forgotten member of the Vision, but they have constantly pushed him to the point where he's always a threat. The tsunami is such a dangerous move. And Remember when he was in NXT, he started out as a babyface. They made a big deal about him winning the the North American Championship, and then he was just cut. So he returns, he comes to the main roster. First they have him kind of be like the heavy for the mids, which really didn't work. And then they moved him into the Bloodline storyline, and he was a threat. He was dominant. Yes, the injury hurt of him hitting the tsunami off the top of the cage because we knew it was coming. But since aligning with the Vision, it feels like we have something special on our hands for Bronson Reed. Yes, Braun Breaker may get all of the praise, but Bronson Reed, I feel like, occasionally feels more of a threat than Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed is the one that puts people on the shelf, and that absolutely works for him. His feud with Braun Strowman was great, and his feud with Roman Reigns was great. So they clearly see something in him, just like I do. We'll be right back. Your time is up. Your time is now. Nah, your time is up. My time is now. No, the last time is now. John Cena's career has officially ended last night at Saturday night's main event. And here we are with the Ballad of John Cena Part 2. So where we last left off was one of the worst moments, worst stories in John Cena's career, where his hubris knew no bound, and him of the Nexus, where he essentially buried the Nexus. You're at a point in your career where your word has power and you have sway, and you are to tell Vince McMahon, we cannot do this. John Cena essentially ruined the Nexus. He destroyed all of the momentum that they had, and he ultimately won the feud, because during the Super Cena LOL Cena wins era, he rarely, if ever, lost a feud. And that's where we left off, with Cena winning over the Nexus. So then we have his start of his feuds with The Miz and The Rock. He would go on to lose to The Miz at WrestleMania. The Rock was the host for WrestleMania 27. Miz and Cena fought in the main event. It ended up kind of wonky, so The Rock restarted the match, and The Miz won. So the feud with The Miz was over, right? Cena and Miz actually ended up becoming tag team champions, defeating Nexus members, who was it? Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel. But the rematch clause was immediately evoked. They lost the titles. Miz attacked Cena. We move over to WrestleMania, which, all ends with The Miz winning, double count out, whatever. So the next night on Raw, The Rock and Cena agree to face each other the following year at WrestleMania 28. This match was set up 1 year in advance, and this was the once in a lifetime. It would not be once in a lifetime. Cena will go on to defeat Miz and Morrison in a triple threat match at Extreme Rules to become WWE champion. He ended up defeating the Miz in an I Quit match at Over the Limit, and then he would feud with R-Truth. Now, I think R-Truth should have won that feud and become WWE champion. This was heel R-Truth with the little Jimmy, and it was great. So then we move into the summer of Punk. CM Punk announced that he was leaving after his contract expires at Money in the Bank. There we build up to this with the pipe bomb, and Punk just had it. He was on. He would go on to defeat Cena at Money in the Bank, leaving with the WWE Championship. And this was funny. So Punk is gone. He's got the title. Rey Mysterio had just won a tournament to win the WWE Championship. John Cena then challenged him and beat him for the title. One of the worst moments of John Cena's career. Absolutely disgusting. CM Punk returns, and he says, I'm the real champion. I've re-signed. I'm back. And they're going to have a match. Cena would then go on to face Punk at SummerSlam, and Punk won. This was supposed to be a unification match. It was. Punk wins. Cena would go on to then defeat Alberto Del Rio for the WWE Championship. Punk had lost because Triple H decided to Triple H things and make himself the focal point, and the summer of Punk was ruined by Triple H and Kevin Nash. So now Cena's facing Del Rio. He's got the title. And then we had the Hell in a Cell rematch with Punk, Del Rio, and Cena, and it was fine. It was great. It was the aftermath that made all the sense of the world. Miz and R-Truth came in and absolutely destroyed all of them. It was awesome. It was amazing. They were arrested on their way out. It was so good. Awesome Truth were so good here. So he needed a partner. He chose The Rock as his partner. The Rock and Cena will go on to defeat The Miz at Survivor Series that year. And then after the match, The Rock gave Cena a rock bottom. Cena then briefly feuded with Kane. And we move over to an ambulance match at the Elimination Chamber. And whatever. Feud with Kane. So we're moving to the feud with The Rock. I do not remember this. March 19th, Cena was involved in a 3-car accident in Philly, here, my city, but suffered no severe injuries. I do not remember this at all. Like, at all. So we have the once in a lifetime match at WrestleMania 28. Cena loses. He tries to hit the people elbow. Well, nope. Rock bottom by the Great One. And it was, it's an iconic match because it's a battling of the eras when we had like Bret and Hogan, then Bret and Stone Cold and The Rock and Hulk Hogan, and then we got The Rock and Cena. So it was like the Passion of the Church. Then we had the Cena and Roman Reigns. We'll get to that a little bit later. So next night on Raw, Cena invites The Rock to the ring, congratulating him on his victory, and The Rock doesn't show up. Out comes Brock Lesnar, destroys Cena, F5, and SmackDown General Manager John Laurinaitis, people power, had said he signed Lesnar to the WWE to bring legitimacy and become the new face. Then at Extreme Rules, Cena got dominated and still won the match. And it was an Extreme Rules match. No one liked this. So this was supposed to be the start of Cena having like a very bad year. And yet, even though he may have lost that Over the Limit, he was still winning matches. He won the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. Raw 1000, he cashed in. He cashed in and lost. DQ. Big Show came in. So it's supposed to be all this big build up. Then feuds with Ziggler and things just keep going down. He ends up defeating Ziggler. Like, it was supposed to be a bad year, and we get the rematch versus The Rock at WrestleMania, which Cena eventually won. Cena defeated Punk, becoming the number one contender for the WWE Championship. Goes on to face The Rock. So then we had him and Mark Henry with the salmon suit. Everybody loves that. Mark Henry should have won that. Lord. Get ready for a couple of lists coming up this week, ladies and gentlemen, that I got to get into about some of the wins that John Cena just whatever. So he ends up getting hurt, and he's out for 4 to 6 months with the tricep tear. So then we move to Cena returning at Hell in a Cell, and now he's affiliated with the World Heavyweight Championship. He defeats Del Rio, and it never looked right for Cena to hold the big gold belt. When you think of these championships, some people just look better with certain ones. Like Batista always looked good with the big gold belt. Edge always looked good with the big gold belt, but Cena looked better with the WWE Championship. Same thing with Jeff Hardy. There's just a certain look and an aesthetic that kind of runs through with all of this. So we're building to this unification match between him and Randy Orton, right? And never forget that segment in the Ring with Raw. It was all the former, at that time, world champions in the WWE. It was Cena and Randy and Daniel Bryan and Mark Henry. I think Big Show, The Miz, Punk, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Christian. And this was during the Daniel Bryan Yes Move era, because Daniel Bryan was super over and fans hijacked that segment because they wanted to see Daniel Bryan. So we had this unification match, which Cena ultimately failed to win. So this was a TLC match. Cena didn't win. We go to the Royal Rumble, and Cena still didn't win. Then we had the Elimination Chamber, where he got involved with the Wyatts, and he went on to beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Another major win that he did not need on his belt. So now he beats Wyatt. Well, Wyatt beats him at Extreme Rules, and then Cena defeated Wyatt in the last man standing match, ending their feud. Because at that point, Bray Wyatt would lose. He would just lose all of his feuds. It just happened, right? He won a ladder match for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. He will go on to defeat Orton and Kane and Reigns in multiple feuds and multiple matches. And then at SummerSlam that year, boy, oh boy, oh boy, he defended against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar murdered, death killed him. 16 suplexes, Germans, 2 F5s. It was over. It was shocking to see just how badly Brock Lesnar beat John Cena. So then he would go on to defeat Orton for the for number contendership, and Cena rejected to join the forces with the Authority. So here we are. He's feuding with the Authority. We got the 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. It was Team Cena, consisting of Cena, Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Big Show, Ryback taking on the Authority. Seth Rollins, Kane, Luke Harper, Mark Henry, and Rusev. Big Show turned on Cena, causing his elimination, but ultimately Ziggler won the match. This was awesome. We looked like we were going to do something big with Ziggler here. During the show, Sting debuted. So the two big things happened at the show were Ziggler and Sting. So now it's like, all right, we could position Ziggler to be that new face. No, it just never worked out, and Authority did Authority things. So Cena was unsuccessful at the Royal Rumble of capturing the title. Then we had one of the high points of John Cena's career. He would go on to defeat Rusev for the United States Championship, which was whatever. He won, shouldn't beat Rusev, but coming out of that, he decided to have the United States Open Challenge, right? And you would think a major star like that wouldn't fall back down into the mid-card, but this was a thing of beauty. The Open Challenge helped bring in new faces. It helped elevate people, because you can have an open challenge and everybody can look great in defeat. He went on to have successful defenses against Dean Ambrose, Stardust, Bad News Barrett, Kane, Sami Zayn, Neville, Zack Ryder, and Cesaro. An awesome challenge. The challenge became so iconic that now when people win the United States Championship, they usually have the Open Challenge. It's literally going on right now with Ivan Dragunov, Lord Dragunov. I can't remember his first name. Ilya. Ivan Dragunov from Rocky. He then lost the championship back to Rusev and started a feud with Kevin Owens, right? Kev was like, I don't need you. I don't need your championship. Kevin Owens would go on to win. Kevin Owens was NXT champion at that time. So then we go to Cena feuding again with Seth Rollins and the Authority, and Cena losing the winner take all match, and Seth was the guy. So Seth's US champion, Seth's WWE champion. Part of the loss happened because of Jon Stewart, which was whatever. So then we move over, skip some, to crazily one of his best rivals, the face that runs the place, AJ Styles, the Phenomenal One. Cena returns at WrestleMania 32, helping The Rock fight the Wyatt family. Cena made his full-time return, right? He just got back from Hollywood. So AJ Styles and the Bullet Club, the club with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, started the Beat Up John Cena Club, where all they wanted to do was beat up John Cena, and that's what they would go on to do, just constantly be a thorn in John Cena's side. Excuse me. Cena lost to AJ at Money in the Bank, and then during the draft, Cena was drafted back over to SmackDown, so him and AJ would continue to feud. Cena then lost to AJ again at SummerSlam and would win the WWE World Championship later on. Cena challenged him and Dean Ambrose a triple threat match, but AJ was the guy. So Cena takes a sabbatical to film American Grit, comes back, and him and AJ have just an amazing match at the Royal Rumble, with Cena winning his 16th World Championship. And this was the thing of beauty, because they never left the ring. He would then go on to lose the title a month later at the Chamber to Bray Wyatt, who will go on to lose the title, Lord, to Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but I digress. Cena began another feud with The Miz, and this is another feud that The Miz should have won. Cena should not have won. It was Miz and Maurice were super over. So this was a feud about love. Cena at that time was dating Nikki Bella. We knew they were going to stay together. They just weren't. Cena and Nikki were a thing, yeah, but Miz and Maurice truly, truly loved each other. Not to say Cena and Nikki didn't love each other, but come on, Miz and Maurice were just forever. And Cena and Nikki won at WrestleMania, and Cena proposed to Nikki, which was just stupid. They only had him win so he could propose, and then they didn't even get married. Annoyed. So after that, Cena becomes a part-time performer, and he's showing back up here and there. First, he's facing Rusev, and then he kind of started a solid feud with a couple people. Austin Theory and Roman Reigns. We'll get to all of those. So he returns at the WrestleMania because he wants to face The Undertaker, and he keeps calling out The Undertaker week in and week out. It doesn't happen. Finally, WrestleMania, Taker shows up and quickly defeats him. All right. So then Cena, which I don't remember, Lord. At the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, team with Bobby Lashley to beat Elias and Kevin Owens. Well, he defeated Triple H at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and then he teamed with Bobby to take on Elias and Kevin Owens at Super Showdown. He was supposed to wrestle at Crown Jewel, but refused to work the event due to the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. We know about the Saudi Arabia shows. Cena would then return to TV, and he was got to it with Becky Lynch. Him and Becky went on to defeat Andrade and Zelina Vega. He lost to Finn. He was just doing stuff. He brought out his Dr. Thugonomus gimmick at WrestleMania, so on and so forth. He had a rap battle with the Usos, so he's just kind of just doing stuff. Then during the pandemic, we got A Thing of Beauty. Him and Bray Wyatt. Well, Bray was defeated at this point in the Firefly Funhouse match. And this was a cinematic style match showcasing all the moments from Cena's career, with Wyatt ultimately getting his win back and defeating Cena. It was great. Cena's officially moving into Hollywood. He makes his returns back and forth. He comes back, has a really good feud with Roman Reigns, and obliterates him on the mic. But then Roman Reigns gets his get back and obliterates Cena. And they had a great showing with Roman Reigns ultimately winning at SummerSlam. So then Cena is here, and he's just kind of just doing stuff, and he challenges Austin Theory for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 39, and Cena loses. He then goes on to face Solo Sikoa later that year, loses to Solo Sikoa. So he's finally putting people over. And then we get to the Last Time Is Now retirement tour. Cena makes an appearance at Money in the Bank in 2024, saying that he's retiring from in-ring action at the end of 2025, and he's going to do whatever. You know what I mean? So he is in the Royal Rumble. He's down to the final two with him and Jey Uso, and Jey Uso eliminates him. Cena then will go on to win the Elimination Chamber and become the number one contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. He also tied Triple H's record for most chamber victories at 4. The fact that Cena was in 4 chambers is crazy, right? Following the match, Cena aligned himself with The Rock. We're not talking about Travis Scott. Turning on the fans, turning on Cody Rhodes. And we have a final heel turn for John Cena. He said he will go into Ruin Wrestling, retire as champion. He is now the never seen 17, getting help from bitch ass Travis Scott to win the WWE Championship, becoming the 17-time world champion. So now we've got the year going down. So he feuds with Randy as champion. He wins. He feuds with Truth. Truth gets fired. We know the whole thing there. And Cena wins with the low blow inside in his main event in a horrible showing. He would team with Logan Paul to face Jey Uso and Cody. Wow. And he's just doing stuff. So Cena defeats Punk at Night of Champions with interference from The Vision. And then on SmackDown, Cena gets attacked by Cody. Cody wins the King of the Ring. He faces Cena at SummerSlam in the street fight, wins the title. Cena finally becomes face again on SmackDown that following week and apologizes, and he wants to go out on top. He lost the title to Rhodes in a great match, and Brock Lesnar returns, and Brock just destroys Cena. He just whatever. Cena goes to defeat Logan Paul in a fine affair, and in his final appearance on SmackDown, he challenged Sami Zayn for the U.S. title, and it was a great match, but ended in a no contest after Brock Lesnar got involved. WrestlePalooza, he gets destroyed by Lesnar randomly. Why? Who knows? So at Crown Jewel, he will go and defeat AJ Styles, what was his 100th victory on pay-per-view, putting him second only behind The Undertaker. And him and AJ were great. And during this point, Cena's doing moves of his former opponents. He's hitting like spears and zigzags and it was great. So he announced that his final match will be at Saturday night's main event. They have the Last Time Is Now tournament leading up to deciding Cena's final opponent. While this is going on, he ends up defeating Dominic Mysterio to win the Intercontinental Championship, become a Grand Slam champion, finally becoming a Grand Slam champion, and made him a Triple Crown champion and a Grand Slam champion. And his final appearance on Raw was him teaming with Rey Mysterio and Sheamus to defeat the Judgment Day. His final pay-per-view match was at War Games, where he lost the title, IC title, back to Dom with interference from a returning Liv Morgan. And then he has his final match against Gunther on Saturday night's main event. And ultimately, John Cena lost. The Last Time Is Now, and it was here. And Gunther and Cena were fantastic. I know many people wanted him to win, but everybody can't be Sting. Sting still has the best retirement tour. Better than Cena, better than Flair, better than Hogan. It is what it is. So Cena's career is over. The Last Time is done. Will he make more appearances in WWE? I definitely believe so. Will he get involved? Kind of like Stone Cold and The Rock has been over the years? Absolutely. He'll show up, help put someone over, but he's done wrestling. So when we look back on John Cena's career, where do we stand? How do we feel about it? Well, he's the GOAT of the WWE. He's not the greatest of all time in professional wrestling. I think that's Bryan Danielson. But Cena is the GOAT of the WWE. And yes, the beginning was great with the Doctor of Thugonomics. The aftermath of that was still good. And we go back and dwell on the Super Cena era, which was not good. And it turned a lot of people off of the WWE. But the back end of his career was good. And it helped kind of make up for that, helping to put young stars over, helping to push the future ahead. Ultimately, John Cena, first of all, is probably going in the Hall of Fame next year. But John Cena is the greatest of all time. He has done so much for his business, and we can't even forget about the fact that he has the Guinness Book of Records for most Make-A-Wishes granted, and it's not even close. He has been an outstanding performer. Yes, he should have taken many more losses to help make more stars, but ultimately, that doesn't fall on him. That falls on Vince McMahon and the booking. John Cena, in high school, I would go around with my chain. Doctor of Thugonomics, that was my guy. And you lost me with the Super Cena. But here we are, and it's over. I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel? Let me know. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look on the screen what we got coming up. And you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Anna J, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Priscilla Kelly, Aladon and Bailey. Holla at your boy. Peace.